It's Crystal here from Crystal Clear ESL. I'm so excited to be coming to you today with top teacher tips for the online ESL teacher. My apologies, I am a little bit late today. We're running about 15 minutes behind schedule, so I hope you're still here, ready to take part, ready to collaborate and share some ideas. I'm here with teacher Alex, who's a successful online private ESL teacher, and he's going to share his tricks of the trade. But you are very welcome to contribute as well. Please sign in with StreamYard so that we can see your name. And then there's about a 10-second delay before your comment or question comes through to us. And we'd love to hear from you. So with that, please help me welcome teacher Alex. Hi.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you here. So why don't we start off by you telling us a little bit about what your ESL journey has looked like?
Oh wow. Well, it's been pretty up and down and a little crazy, but it's right now I'm very happy where I am today. This week I'm almost fully booked, and today I had technical issues. Today I had a referral just come 20 minutes ago, and so it's really an amazing journey, and I'm very happy. But back in 2014, when I first started, it was a little bit rough. I'm sure it can be for everybody. I first started. If it's okay to talk about where I started, if that would be interesting for people. So I first started teaching English at a conversational school for Japanese adults. It was basically like free talk, and I didn't know anything. I was new. So compare myself to back then, my character and how I developed, it's completely different. But it was something that I was very proud to see, that shift, that evolution. So starting there and then going to other companies, trying them out, and then just growing as a teacher. Eventually in 2019, I went full-time teaching, because back then it was part-time on top of my office jobs and things like that. I joined Palfish. Maybe yeah. I have 4,000 lessons taught there. I was a featured teacher. I also noticed that I had the most retention of regular students. Someone has a lesson with me and they stick with me. But other teachers, they don't have this. They have students come and go. So I said, what am I doing that's so different? So I'm here to share with that today. Things I picked up.
I can't wait to learn. But just to clarify, I'm looking at your background and I'm thinking that the teaching adults side of things was phased out at some point.
I do have one student, actually two students that are adults. I've been teaching them for many years. She even came to my wedding. She's in her 60s. She's a dentist, and she was one of my first students from 2014. So she actually likes this kid environment. It's kind of funny and interesting. So I encourage people who have adults to kind of be a little bit childish, because it's kind of funny, and it really creates that atmosphere for a fun lesson. So I still recommend stuff like this even for adults. But now I am focused mostly on kids in Asia. I left Palfish in August, and I have started using your curriculum exclusively. I've taught, I think, over 400 lessons. I have it all logged just with your curriculum, and it's been pretty fun. I'm using American English, so I make a little bit of adjustments, but it still works very well.
Yeah.
And it's been very successful, and that's what I want to talk about today, is how to really boost your lessons. What I did, what I went through, I have just so much information that I learned from everybody. And I also like to learn from people in the comments, and you, because I know you have taught a ton of lessons, and I'm sure you have a lot of things to share. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is actually before we start teaching, we want to have
the preparation. But before we get into that, Alex, how might a teacher realize, what clues could they look for that they might need to change up their teaching game, that something maybe isn't going as well as it could be? What things would indicate that?
first, character, right? You want to develop your character, and I'm sure everyone is a positive, good person, right, with teaching.
Mhm.
But you want to kind of show that in your teaching by being funny, laughing, just being very genuine. A lot of
Mhm.
teachers maybe just tired and just too focused on the material, just trying to teach something. But it's more of a fun thing because anyone could learn.
Yeah.
You can use AI, right, to learn something, but we want a real person to be there and have fun and interact. So I think developing your character as a person, if you're funny, be that funny teacher. If you're
Yeah.
very serious, try and be serious, but also be funny. So you just want to develop your character into this
Right.
humorous type of person. And I think that really goes a long way because every lesson, I have my students laughing, smiling, and that and they just continue to work with me, and
Right.
it's
So
amazing.
it keeps them coming back by having that like genuine relationship, but also keeping it lighthearted and making learning fun. I love that. Okay, cool. So to get back to what you're saying, how do we need to prepare on the technical side?
Right. So the professional etiquette, right? Because you are a private teacher, you want to show that you are a strong brand, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to have any tech issues, any meltdowns in class, something going on. And I've been through almost everything. I had my background fall on top of me, and I kind of did this to hold it up. I had people with a jackhammer outside. I ran to the shower and between lessons. So I've seen a lot. I had people yelling and dogs barking, and I just figured it out. I would hum to echo out the dog barking because in Palfish the AI can detect you and then flag you, and then you can get fired. So I would try to fight the AI with my sound to
Oh
filter
my
that.
gosh.
Yeah.
So it could focus in on your humming over whatever background noise.
Yeah, so I figured that out. So I really that could be a good tip too, is just to be versatile, to any situation because it's
Yeah.
constantly changing your environment. And I've recently went to Europe in 2019 to 22 countries, and I've taught English in almost every of those countries. So I've seen all types of stuff happen, but I still maintained no lateness, even though the network is down and all this stuff. No lateness. I never no showed. Never got a complaint. So everything I did worked in every country. So
That is
whatever.
just, I think that is just, so noteworthy. I see whether it's in the chat in groups or whether it's like I've got a little side academy where I have some teachers helping me out, and I just think that ESL teachers often get a bad reputation in a way because of the conduct of a few not taking it seriously and not being professional. And I think that you you do your credit to this industry by never being late, by never having a no show, by maintaining yourself professionally, because it's not okay. It's not, even if your client or your parent says, oh, it's okay, teacher so and so, that you were 5 minutes late for class again, or it's okay if you can't show up today. Actually, what they're filing it away, aren't they? And it's going to prevent them down the road from recommending you. It's going to prevent them from signing up for a new class bundle. And it's just not professional conduct. So that's really honorable, I think, of you. Thank you. Thank you from the industry.
Yeah, well, I consider myself a brand, teacher Alex. So I'm branding myself, and I don't want to be this teacher that just doesn't show up or doesn't do anything. That's not a company. I want to evolve
Mhm.
as a brand, and being a private teacher means to show that I'm just as good as the other companies. And I do believe I'm better because my time in Palfish, I quit in August because of the drama in China.
Mhm.
But I said, okay, now I'm on my own. What am I going to do different? I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to do this, but I couldn't because of policies and tech capabilities. I couldn't like do this video here and put this video here. So now I can look down because, in that company, you can't look down. You get a complaint. So I look down, I reach for props and stuff. So I'm so happy that I'm independent. Uh,
There is a
and
little leeway. Yeah. When you're
yeah.
independent, you can set your own rules to an extent.
But I still maintain the professionalism, and I also don't drink in class. I kind of have this. To me, it doesn't look good drinking in class, so I say that's going to be my rule: no drinking in class. So no eating, obviously, but that's just the rules I follow to have my brand to where it is.
Wow, you're pretty strict on yourself then.
Yeah, it is my weakness, I think.
Right,
I take teaching very seriously. So everything else not very serious, but just teaching, I'm
right.
just so serious about it because I was a
Yeah,
student myself. I learned Armenian, which is the language of my grandparents, in 8 months. And I take my time as a student to teach. So I remember how it was to be a student, that I don't know
yeah,
the language and what's going on, and that's what I use to just be the best teacher. And I think that's really helped me a
right.
lot.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. So you mentioned earlier internet issues. What do you have any tips for preparing to have a solid internet? And I say that literally as my internet is being flagged
Yeah,
as weak.
it might be me too. Yeah, it might be me too. I don't know. Tech preparation, right? You need to have the gadgets, the troubleshooting techniques, and the checking techniques, the testing, which is a whole
Yeah.
world in itself. I use my skills as a technical support agent from 5 years ago on what to do. But basically, you want to have a backup connection. So, buy if you're in another country, buy a local SIM card and have and check the internet. Use speed test or fast.com, and constantly check your internet speed, and also make sure the server, which server it is, not a local server, maybe a server in China or wherever you want to teach, how the speed is.
Mhm.
So just having these two, but the keyword is backups. Backup lighting.
Yeah.
I have backup lights. I have a backup headset. I have backup everything because I never want to be in a situation of a crash.
Yeah.
It
And
doesn't
have
look
to
good from my
cancel a
point.
lesson. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I never cancel. I just get through the lesson no matter what happens. So backup lights, even backup internet. I have a hotspot device. I
I
also have
use
my
my
phone.
hotspot too. Yeah.
Oh really? I also have my phone to hotspot. So I have two more backups. The that and another one,
Wow.
and then also to troubleshoot. So the big thing is don't panic. Something's happening and you just don't freak out. That's really bad for your image. Just like, oh, I can't do it. And I've seen some videos
Yeah.
of teachers panicking in a lesson, and it just you don't want to show that. You want to be calm, be like, can you hear me? No, okay, and then try something. So to maintain your character, right? When you watch a movie, you have the actors, they're in character. You always want to be in character of
Wow.
your image. So that's what I do. I never get angry and freak out, and it's just it's not it is genuine, right? I can get angry, but it's not professional, I think, to get angry or to get frustrated. That's also a big one, is if you want to yawn, you can mask it by just closing your mouth. And to cough, I have a mute button here. I mute my mic. So to mask things, even to drink water, you can get like a prop and be like, "Oh, who is this?" And then see I'm reaching down. So it's you want to be able to have that adaptability, which is really huge. Because imagine I didn't do that and I would just go drink, and then the mom is watching me, and it's just really unprofessional, in their opinion, right?
Right. Well, the thing that gets me is, yes, as freelancers or independent teachers, we have the liberty to loosen up the rules, but you have to think that these companies impose these rules for a reason, and maybe we are not sensitive to the cultural variations that are in place between our two cultures. So actually, maybe you shouldn't be slogging through a mega gulp while you're in the lesson with a Chinese student because that is offensive to them. Just a
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
right?
There's a lot of things we don't know that we will do without knowing it. So it's a good filter to block out those actions.
Yeah.
Uh, and as far as tech preparation, I think that's pretty much it. Just have your backup internets, backup hardware, backup software. Maybe you need another platform.
Okay.
And also have some knowledge of IT. So just how to troubleshoot, how to do things. And when you are troubleshooting in class, like if I notice my internet is slow, I don't tell my student to wait. I would have my phone under my camera so it doesn't look like I'm on my phone, right? Again, masking. And I would do like an internet speed test to see if it's my internet, and I would pinpoint the issue and then troubleshoot it from there. And it can be
Right.
a simple fix. And I'm not panicking. I'm doing all of this in a nice motion to stay in character, to maintain my professionalism. So as
Love
far as
that.
preparation for tech, I think also before a lesson, you do like a mic check, a video check, speed test, and just a minute or two, and
Like at the start
you'll
of
be
your
ready.
day, or some platforms offer you advice on troubleshooting as well. I know I use Remote HQ, and they've got a list if you ask them of what you can do. Like you can change the server that you're co-browsing on so it's a
Yeah.
server closer to them, or even one just somewhere more stable. You can downgrade the quality of video so that it doesn't take as much bandwidth on both sides. And so my point is, ask your classroom provider if they do have tips or if they can help you troubleshoot in these scenarios.
Yeah, they will most likely have a page, and you can just read about it and
Yeah,
be smart about it. You know, you are your own company, so you want to be as knowledgeable as you can to not have like this meltdown and rely on
right.
non-existent support because you are the support. So you just have to have that basic knowledge. You don't have to go to school. You just have this page that you can refer to on how to troubleshoot something.
100%. Okay, let's segue. We're starting class. What tips have you got for the teachers out there in how to create a great class environment from the get-go?
All right. So first second of class, this even works with my adult students, is I just have high energy, not too high because I'm gonna do this each time. So something
Right.
genuine, just high energy, and I have just some random prop. Maybe it relates to them or it doesn't. Let's say like this, Captain America. One of my props just fell over. Captain America. I just put it to the camera, and I say hello, 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 and every student, even up to today, they just repeat me, and they say hello, hello, hello. Even a 28-year-old woman, one of my longtime students, she just it just creates this mood, this atmosphere, and it just everything is just perfect after that. But if it's just like
Mhm.
a turn on the camera and oh hey yes hello yeah how
Yeah.
are you, the whole lesson is just bad right from there. So
So
definitely
start
just
as you need to go on, right?
yeah, yeah. So but this whole high level of energy, it obviously will fade because it's not humanly possible to just,
Okay.
just be crazy the whole lesson. So you just maintain that, and then you want to have it repeatable. So every lesson I give the same amount of energy. If it's another day, I'm gonna have that same level. I don't want to be that teacher that on Tuesdays, he's tired because he sleeps late or something. It's
Right.
every lesson is the same, and that same is my great character. And it's nothing crazy. I'm not those teachers that scream and jump and dance and this. I don't do that. I rarely do that. I
I
do that,
rarely
but
do
I rarely do that. Yeah.
it.
But I do have this positive energy. It's not crazy high. It's high, but it's just enough so that I can do it each lesson. So
Right.
that's a lot of teachers are getting burned out because they're saying I'm so over the top, giving all this energy, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
And you should just stop here, and that's it. Yes, it is possible to go here, but you do this maybe 4 hours each day, so it's not right to do that every day. So I
Yeah,
keep it at
and you
here.
have to find your comfort level too. Like people, I think, like you and I, Alex, that innately have a bubbly, enthusiastic personality. It's quite easy to keep that, but if that's not naturally you, it's going to be a struggle to maintain it. So you need to find that positivity at a maintainable level as well, I think.
Wow. Yeah. And for kids as well, it's like a minimum, to have them in
Yeah.
this learning mode. When I was a student, I had the teachers, when I was learning Armenian, I had the teachers that were like this, and then
Mm.
another teacher that was very strict, but I really liked her because I like that strict type of teacher. And it,
Woo.
the manager of the teacher says, "You're so weird. You like these strict teachers." I said, "Yes, it's just so interesting to me." So maybe some students will like these strict teachers. You have to
Yeah,
feel it out. Some students I
exactly.
have, they like this attitude I have, but other students they just don't even care that I'm like like this. They're just like okay, whatever, But it depends on the student, and
Right. What about a warm up? Do you have like a set warm up that you do every class in addition to that
yes,
grading?
yes. So I do about a 4 minute warm up before I even jump into the content. And these will be, depending on the level of students, everyday questions like, how's the weather? What day is it today? How old are you? Where are you from? Just things like this. Very basic questions depending on the level. And it turns into a conversation. And I think that's what a lot of parents appreciate, is that we're already talking, even though they have
Yes.
a small level. We're
And
already
that free talk makes them listen and think on cue. Like they're not going over a lesson that perhaps they've seen before. They're not within a structure that they can rely on. It's all possibly new and spontaneous, which is the real challenge, isn't it?
it's I'm pretty used to it. I mean, it is a structure.
Oh, you cycle through the same questions. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but it's the same general type of
Yeah,
questions. I
yeah,
have a drive with all these different images, and it's like, what did you do today? Did you
yeah.
go to
Ooh.
school? So it's just like maybe 10 images, but I do cycle through it, so I know what to expect. But I'm also adaptive. So if I see a brother in the background, if I see someone playing the piano, or it's a restaurant, I don't even jump into those questions. Just the other day, we were in a restaurant. Right? So I was like, "Oh, what are you ordering? Noodles? I want noodles too." And I get my noodles prompt, and then I get my Chinese money, and I said, "I'm paying for dinner today."
And
And
Dad was like, yes.
yeah, I have a Visa card. It's inactive, but I waved my Visa card, and everyone just started laughing. I don't know what they were saying, but I think they knew. They're like, "Oh, let's get his Visa card. Let's make him pay."
Oh,
So
I can see why.
that became the warm up question instead of how's the weather and things like this. So I adapted to the situation.
Okay.
So the adaptability and the versatility to do that. And then we jump into the lesson. And I usually don't do a song or a dance or something like this, but some lessons I do, because I notice the student just really likes it. So I say, okay, for this one, I'll do a song. I did the January, February, March song
March
today.
and April.
Yeah, and my student really liked it, I've been halfway through the unit, and I just started playing the song. I said, "Oh wow, she really likes this song. Okay, I'm gonna always play this song." I wasn't used to it
Yeah.
before, so
It helps them remember too. Because it's in to a tune, they can sing it in their head, and it helps remember the
yeah, for
notes.
me, I think that's my weakness, is I'm not doing all these like songs and dancing and things. I'm actually doing a different method. But if that
Yeah.
works for that student, that's also great. So you have to be
Right.
versatile for that student to cater to their
100%.
needs.
Yeah, and how they remember. I've talked about this before in past lives and articles, how every student learns a little bit differently and will retain memory, or will retain information if something appeals to them, if the input method appeals to them. So I think that's great that you're adaptive. Let me just remind any viewers that we have that we welcome your comments and your suggestions and your questions. So pop your name into StreamYard and feel free to leave a comment. We'll get to it as soon as we can. And if you're joining us after and watching the replay, we will still get notifications of these. So please do pop them in the comments below. So, Teacher Alex, what happens when your student is, a little more tired or waning on enthusiasm? How do you kind of like grab them back and save the lesson?
Oh, so two types of situations, right? You have one student that is just watching TV or just ignoring you.
Yes.
This is really bad. So I heard from another teacher. She started having a pots and pans, and just start banging on the pot to make noise. And
Oh my
the
gosh.
parent runs in the room saying, "What are you doing? Oh, you're not studying!" And then just disciplining the child, saying, "Hey, you better study." And they would stand there. So that is one method that is amazing for students that just ignore you, right? Because they're very
It's the
stressed.
pots and pans method.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, it does work. So,
Oh
so
my gosh.
I've tried making noise and or just yelling at like, "Hey, whoa!" And it does work. Also, thing is about sounds. I just to go back to character.
Yeah.
It really helps me in lessons. Just having these filler sounds like "Hey, whoa, whoa." This "whoa" I use
Yes.
a lot. It's filler. I guess it's called filler, and it's huge for interactivity with the student to kind of make a reaction to their action. So it's just really cool. I say whoa a lot. Today I had this referral this 30 minutes ago because the parent's friend, her son was next to him, and he was just laughing because I was saying whoa, hey, and he was just laughing, and that was the key, is just to make them laugh and have fun, but also teach
Mhm.
at the same time. You just want to have a limit on fun, right? It's because you're
Yes.
here to learn.
Yeah.
Uh, so that was a huge one. So first, that second situation. First situation, uh, you said, sorry,
About drawing them back in, like regaining the enthusiasm or keeping the interest.
props, right? I have a ton of
Mm.
props. I don't know if I could show you. Uh, just a
Oh my
whole
gosh.
junkyard of stuff. Uh, but
Junkyard.
I mean, it does look absolutely horrible, but I know where everything is,
Right.
and
And you
I
can
know.
just grab it and
Yeah, I know what category. Like, these are farm animals, these are zoo animals, these are heroes, puppets. Everything is. I know where it is, what category it is. So depending on the lesson, depending on the student, I would grab the appropriate prop for that moment. So if he's eating and he's not paying attention, I would grab chopsticks, maybe soy sauce, maybe something. A lot of
and
my
start pretending to eat yourself. Nom, 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 nom.
I've come up with so much crazy stuff. Just the other day, because I use Classin and we can move the camera around, which I really recommend teachers to use the functionality of moving the camera around. To put it on top of something, on top of a picture, and then draw a stick figure. Stick figures are very easy to draw and very childish. So I said, let's make teacher, and then I put let's say yo-yo, right? So I said teacher plus yo-yo equals teacher yo-yo. And then I put my body like this, and I put his camera over my face, and I would flex my muscles, and he got so happy, and then he was just started laughing, and he was in rage. So just
I love that.
not crazy, but just some funny thing. A lot of my students like guns, so I have this nice collection of guns, and a lot of my students like Squid Games. So
Uh-huh.
in the movie you had like them shooting things, and I don't know how these kids saw it, but I would just say I would say, "Hey Tony, okay, A, B, or C, pick an answer," and he wouldn't pick an answer. So I would put the stopwatch, and I just bring this to the screen, and I'd say, "Tony, 5 seconds, 5 seconds," and he said, "Oh no, no, okay, okay, okay," and he would kind of play
Oh
along,
my goodness.
and and, and he would interact after that, and
Right.
so the key is props, I believe, or an
Right.
image. I have another student in Korea, and I'm also teaching on Cambly just as a form of job security in case something happens. So I have students in Korea and Japan, and when I teach there, I open up with a prop if it's a new student. So I have these. These are very popular among the kids and teens. They love these. This one's in Korea. This one's in Japan. Pocky. So I show this, and the whole lesson is great after that. And even if I don't show it, halfway through the lesson, I show it, and then they get back in the lesson.
Oh,
So
wow.
to have props. And for people who are thinking props are so expensive, it's like $20 for Legos and things like this. All my props are very cheap. I don't spend more than X amount of money on a prop because I go to the toy store probably twice a week, hunting for things.
Really?
I'm
Oh my
still looking
gosh.
for specific things, like a suitcase and like a mini suitcase. I'll find it. But here I'm now in Armenia, so it's been very difficult to find things. But I found this Ultraman wallet for like 50 cents underneath like a box in a store that's been there for 5 years. So you can
Oh my
find
gosh.
props, arts and crafts. You can find flowers. I can talk about my props for an hour, but basically the idea is erasers, right? Erasers are very cheap, and they have so many erasers of
Yeah,
heroes, superheroes. You can probably have every prop in an eraser because they just make erasers for
of
everything.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're so cheap. So I would recommend erasers, um, things like that. Just very small toys, but that they look 2D friendly, right? So this is
Yeah.
like a baby toy, but it looks good on screen. If you want to go crazy and buy some action figure, this was a gift, but this was actually very expensive. I wouldn't recommend it. Just very simple props. Some people use these flashcards, right, as props. Like you have this one. I don't. I like to have actual things that really
Mhm.
makes it relatable. Like instead of a paper clock, I have an actual clock. Uh,
Okay.
Instead of an image of socks, I have baby socks
Oh,
that I
cute.
found. Yeah. So
So you're not a fan of digital props then?
I would if actually I do if I can't find it here. There are two
Mhm.
digital props I want to mention. One is kind of I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Doll E. No, it is an AI system. It takes images off of Google and you combine images. So you can say, for example, today I wanted to make my student laugh. He's a little bit older, so I wrote in the search bar Harry Potter holding a gun, and it generated this image of gun and Harry Potter together, and it made this image. Another one I did is Ultraman with a gun, and it generated this image of Ultraman with a gun. So it's limitless, whatever you want to do. You can make Elsa with Ultraman on a horse riding in the sunset, and it'll generate this image. And I have a link. I can share it.
Okay.
Where should I put it? In the chat? I'll bring
Yeah,
it.
sure. Yeah, and then I'll bring it up.
This,
Or
go ahead.
I was going to say, is it the link that you sent me earlier, but it's not.
Oh
So,
no, it's a different one. This is like the low budget version. The actual version is being beta tested and not available yet. Maybe you can get it if you join the wait list, but this is like a low quality version. So it's gonna make a warped face of the characters. But sometimes they do come out really well. You might see this trending. Oh, are you on the okay. So you can
yeah, can
type
you see it?
yeah, it is a little buggy. So let's say I don't know. You're probably more creative than me. So and so holding or this, or so and so with this, and it'll take about a minute or two. Uh,
Is that going to work?
oh yeah, that's perfect. So you just hit run, and then it does. Okay, it's going. If you see the time, it is going, and it'll generate it. I think it's based on the bandwidth currently. Sometimes it
Oh,
might
that
not work.
isn't great over here.
For the website, I believe, for their website.
Oh, I
Uh,
see.
and when the actual DAL-E comes out, I think it's called DALL-E 2, it'll make these amazing images with AI. And you can just take that image, throw it in your lesson, and you have this uh, prop that's digital. And then another one I really wanted to talk about is one I use uh, within the lesson and also at the warm up in the lesson is
Mm-hmm.
this digital museum of old Nintendo games and PlayStation games. And it is just the map of the game or the level, and you can kind of explore it like a free world.
Okay, you
And
did send me that one, didn't you? I'm gonna
yeah,
just
I
pop it
did.
in.
It is very cool, and it is unbelievable the amount of things you can do as a teacher. If you're just the average web browser person and just saying, okay, this is cool. It's just a 2-minute thing. But if you're a teacher, you will be living on this website because you can drag the camera. So yeah, feel free to browse the plethora of everything. So this is one game, and then you can go into that. Okay, so then it loads. It should load quickly.
Okay,
You click out of that window.
got
All
it.
right, and
Mm-hmm.
now you can move around. You can pan the camera up and down. WASD works to
Oh,
move. If you're using something like Classin, WASD will not work. You need to click the mouse to move. Like I believe it's click left and right, and you go forward. And you can fully explore the map. And this is just one map, so you
so
can
could you
create.
move forward? Sorry. Can
Yeah,
I actually move on the course like the car would?
yeah. You just press W.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
whoa, whoa, yeah. So, if you can also decrease the speed by mouse wheel down, mouse wheel up. This decreases the speed. You can go up and
Mm-hmm.
down, and if you hold shift, you can kind of go very fast.
This
So,
is amazing. It's
and
like
if you,
the koala playground in a way. If you've ever
it
heard of
is, yeah, yeah, I
koala.
saw that, and I saw the whole video, and I said, wow, I can already use this. But yeah,
Yeah, you could do this on Zoom.
yeah. And what's
Ah.
really cool is if you notice the URL changes every location. So if I want to go back
Ah.
to this specific game, this specific spot, all I have to do is copy the link, and I have a little notepad of I think 10 things like a waterfall, a boxing ring, a dining room, a throne room,
Ah.
all from different games that I use for my lesson. Oh wow, okay. So it is kind of a little bit weird. Some of the images, it's not the best, quality, but
That's
uh,
so funny.
it is, and it'll do anything. This has been trending on the internet a lot, so it's really it'll work for lessons. It's so while the student is talking about something, you can just say, "Oh, you like Elsa and you like Harry Potter? Oh, Elsa and Harry Potter uh, dancing," because you can't really Google those images. Um,
Okay.
so that'll just generate for you, and then you throw it in
Fun.
there, and you have supplemental curriculum. So on top of everything you're already teaching, you have this supplemental curriculum.
These links. Yeah.
And speaking of that, I wanted to talk about time management, which is really big. Uh, I don't struggle with this, but it is always on my mind. So I teach for 25 minutes and then another one 55 with my adults. I'm always monitoring my time. I know that after the fourth minute, I should already be finished with my warm up phase. And then I have
Right.
the teaching phase and then the closing phase. So my time management is always on point. So
Right.
yeah, I also give stickers, which is kind of I think it's helped a lot because some of my students I wouldn't give him a sticker because he was misbehaving. So I was like, all right, bye, see you next time. And he's like,
Oh,
wait,
you
wait,
give
wait,
them as you
sticker.
close, as you wrap
Yeah.
up.
For rewards, I don't do much rewards. I just use the class in trophy feature. I used to
Yeah.
have like I would give a pony. I still have them. I use them sometimes. Like, oh, okay, one pony for you, and this is a
Oh,
candle.
I have those. Yeah.
So it's a
My
very
kids love them.
easy prop, and I have these as rewards. But I just give the class and trophy rewards. Anyway, but I do give a sticker at the end, and that really has helped my student base stick. Maybe they don't like me as a teacher; they just want stickers.
Oh, they have an individual sticker book.
Yeah, I learned that the hard
love
way.
that.
I used to have a whole book, and I would flip to the page frantically trying to find like the student name, and I wouldn't find them, and I just panicked because the time was running up. But now I figured it out where individual sticker books is the one. So
Brilliant. Love that idea. Okay, so Teacher Alex came up with the idea to collaborate and share a list of great URLs and tips within our teaching community. So that will be available in the Crystal Clear ESL Teachers Community Facebook group, and everyone's welcome to contribute to that. That was a super idea. I love that. So we'll add those two links that we talked about with the Dolly and what's the other one called? No Clip or something?
No Clip.
So so we'll add those, and hopefully it grows. So I think, Alex, you deserve a big sticker for today. That was a wonderful wealth of information, and I'm so grateful that you gave us your time. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to help.
Okay, super. And Alex is in all the groups, so if you have any further questions or want more ideas or elaboration, just hit us up in the replay or in the groups. Thanks again, everybody. Take care. Thanks, Alex. Bye.
Bye.